Guys, the anticipation for the steel cage match has been absolutely unreal.
And with good reason. There's nothing quite like witnessing a steel cage match live and in person.
And his opponent, from Camelot, weighing in at 210 pounds, the hero, Lincoln.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for one-on-one action.
And Michael, it sounds to me like this crowd already picked the one who they want to win this match.
And we're underway. Looking at these two men, I don't think there's going to be anything traditional about this one-on-one matchup.
Well, the door's locked, and at this point, the competitors might just be wondering exactly what they've gotten themselves into.
What a strike. Uh-oh, he's got him set up here. Looking for the suplex. This might be it. Oh, my.
The best way to describe combatants clashing inside a steel cage is its battle of attrition. Sometimes a superstar is left with no choice but to fight fire with fire and do whatever they need to do in order to win the match. And sometimes it comes down to a superstar doing whatever they need to do in order to survive.
Byron, you touched on this earlier, but it's so important for a superstar to accept that there's nowhere to run and nowhere to hide in a steel cage match. That the conflict will be resolved within the 15-foot-high steel walls that surround the ring. And that losing a cage match can mean much more than a mark on the loss column. For some, this meant the end of their career.
It's difficult to describe the damage that can be done to a superstar who competes in a steel cage match. We see the physical harm, but we don't see the psychological effects of being inside the cage. Make no mistake about it, Michael. The steel cage truly represents survival of the fittest.
Looks like he's starting to sweat now. This could be the start of an ugly downward spiral if he's not careful.
Yeah, but it looks to me like he still has plenty of energy in that body of his. I wouldn't look too much into this right now.
This is all part of the process, guys. He knew he would take on some offense here tonight. He just has to make sure he keeps it to a minimum.
Beautiful technique. Before 2017's Extreme Rules, there were just 3 previous tag team matches where championship gold was decided inside a steel cage in the history of WWE's special events. Hardy Boys were in 2 of those matches. At Extreme Rules, in order to win the match, both members of the team had to exit the cage and have both feet on the floor. Hardy's used, looking at it here. Suplex. Oh, it's over. He's going for the pin. In brilliant kick out, much to nobody's surprise.
Still a lot more fight left. Oh boy, he is rolling.
He's starting to feel it here. But he's very aware of who he's in a long way down.
That one definitely hurt Cole. Why do they end up on the announce table?
Look out, guys!
This will damage your back. It's heating up now.
Digging deep for a kick out.
It'll take a lot more than that to keep him down.
Knocked off his feet.
Now that's a takedown. According to historians, the twisted metal that we see as part of steel cages today dates back 80 years. To settle a dispute between competitors Jack Bloomfield and Count Pietro Rossi, the two met inside a ring surrounded by chicken wire. At first, these types of matches were referred to as fence matches.
Corey, you gave us an impressive history of the origins of the steel cage match. I'd like to point out to our viewers that from the 1960s to the mid-1980s, chain link fences were used to enclose the ring for WWE steel cage matches. A superstar could win by pinfall submission, or by exiting the cage through the cage door, or climbing over the top of the cage.
We should also point out, Michael, that the way to win a steel cage match can vary by match depending on what was agreed to before contracts to compete in the match were signed. Talking about history, at WrestleMania 2, WWE unveiled the redesigned steel cage with solid steel blue bars before returning to chain link mesh in the late 1990s.
When this guy's on, look out.
I think this is the beginning of the end.
Nailed it.
This just might be enough for him to take the victory.
Can he do it here? Digging deep for a kick out.
Oh man, I don't know who to root for.
Oh, and he connects.
There's no reason to lose your footing on a move like that. Come on, toughen up.
He's left wide open here.
I don't think he even realizes it. He looks dazed.
This is about to get bad.
Oh boy, he is rolling.
He's not in a good spot here, guys.
He simply needs to find a way to regroup.
Oh no, we know what this is. Wow, what a move. Shoulders on the back. Digging deep for a kick out.
Yeah, it's going to take more than that to keep him down.
Irish whip.
I think we know what this is. High cross body. This one is over.
He's got the shoulders down.
Yes! Unreal performance.
These guys were awesome. Let's take another look.
Check them out here. He ain't playing here. Getting after it here. And last but not least, there was this.
Here is your winner, the hero, Lincoln.
What a back-and-forth battle that was. I could watch them go at it each and every...
The time for talk is over. We'll find out who the best is in the ring right now.
I am so excited this moment is finally here.
Well, the door's locked, and at this point, the competitors might just be wondering exactly what they've gotten themselves into.
Oh, what a punch.
That's how you stop your opponent.
A striking blow. Picking up spin. What an uppercut.
We talk about how important stipulations are in a steel cage match. If superstars sign a contract where the only way to win is escape the cage and have both your feet touch the floor, the competitors must have a plan. Especially since you have to be comfortable trying to escape through the cage door as you do climbing over the top of the cage and vice versa.
You gotta believe this one's over.
Corey, you touched on something moments ago that's so important to the combatants in a steel cage match to remember. A superstar must be able to think offensively to figure out how they're going to escape the cage. They must think defensively at the same time so they can prevent their opponent from getting out of the cage first and winning the match.
Well, a superstar must become comfortable with escaping the cage by both exiting the cage door and by climbing over the top of the cage. They must also be aware of their attributes and what's best for them. Let's just say if you're a giant like The Big Show, The Undertaker, Kane, or even Braun Strowman, it's preferred to exit through the cage door. The WWE Universe has seen the evolution of the steel cage in the enclosure known today as Hell in a Cell. The first time an enclosed cage was seen was in October of 1983 in the last Battle of Atlanta. The enclosed cage was seen a few years later in the War Games match from the NWA. There were even cages stacked on top of each other, like WCW's Tower of Doom.
All right, when we talk about the progression of steel cage matches and the type of structures that have been spawned from them, I need to point out that some cages have been electrified. One was made from bamboo in the form of a Punjabi prison match. And of course, the elimination chamber with glass pods and steel doors.
And today we have the Asylum match, where weapons are on top of the cage. This goes to show you that times may change, but the objective to destroy an opponent remains the same. There's still no better way to settle a score than to do battle with your adversary inside a steel cage.
Nobody controls the pace of a match quite like this guy. Look out, look out! This could be it!
Thunderous slam.
Nice.
Shut it down.
Did you cover here?
He kicks out before 3.
Yeah, it's gonna take more than that.
Whoa, down he goes.
That was impressive, Cole.
Steel cage is a massive enclosure that stands 15 feet in height. For almost 35 years, a select group of high flyers have taken their aerial assaults to greater heights. And when I say that, I mean superstars climb to the top of the steel cage, the real high red district, and dive off onto their opponent. And that all started with one man in October of 1983, Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
To your point earlier, Byron, we've definitely seen some unbelievable attacks be launched from the top of the steel cage. And you mentioned the most iconic steel cage match for the Intercontinental Championship. It saw Jimmy Superfly Snuka clash against bitter rival, the magnificent Morocco.
There's no denying that Superfly set the bar. You look over the years to people like Jeff and Matt Hardy, Eddie Guerrero, Kurt Angle, and Chris Jericho. They continue to push the envelope and execute unbelievable attacks from the top of the cage. Watch Rikishi take flight up the top of the steel cage. Wow, there's a certain feeling that comes over the combatants in a steel cage match once they hear the door close and see the official lock it. The superstar must know that their body is going to be thrown against the steel, that their face will most likely be
about this earlier, Corey. It's crucial for a WWE superstar to fully understand the gravity of the situation they're in when they battle inside a 15-foot-high steel cage. An individual must be ready to endure pure brutality and be prepared for the fight of their life. No one leaves a steel cage match without scars.
But you said something of value for once, and that anything is legal inside the steel cage. To that point, something else we've seen over the years is interference. Whether it's The Undertaker coming up through the ring or John Cena getting bashed in the head with the cage door from the outside, it's all legal in the cage.
Oh, what impact! Nailed it!
The rivalry between Ultimate Warrior and Ravishing Rick Rude began during the Super Pose Down at the 1989 Royal Rumble. Then it progressed to where both superstars battled over the Intercontinental Championship. At SummerSlam 90, the rivals met inside a 15-foot-high steel cage for the WWE Championship. Victory could be achieved by pinfall or escape from the cage.
This might be it! Oh, my! Corey, the WWE Championship match between the Ultimate Warrior and Ravishing Rick Rude was the second half of the double main event at 1990 SummerSlam. The rivalry between the Warrior and the Ravishing One was so heated that no one knew what to expect once the two men were able to battle inside a steel cage, which at the time was the most grueling match in all of WWE.
The Ultimate Warrior dominated early on with his incredible strength. Rick Rude turned the tables and used the steel surroundings to his advantage. At one point, Rude dove from the top of the cage onto the Warrior. But after the Warrior's signature Gorilla Press Slam, the Ultimate One climbed over the cage and retained his WWE Championship.
Ooh, what impact! Before 2017's Extreme Rules, there were just 3 previous tag team matches where championship gold was decided inside a steel cage in the history of WWE special events. Hardy Boys were in 2 of those matches. At Extreme Rules, in order to win the match, both members of the team had to exit the cage and have both feet on the floor.
Hardys used their famous continuity to gain the early advantage until Cesaro and Sheamus utilized their devastating power to slow the pace of the match down. Both teams battled atop the steel cage, but in the end, Sheamus and Cesaro won the race to the arena floor to become new Raw Tag Team Champions.
It's over. It's over. Can you believe it? It's all over. These superstars put on quite a show. Here's another look.
Here is your winner,
And here we go with what will undoubtedly be a thrilling steel cage match. Drop down.
going to want to make sure this doesn't cease early.
We spoke about this earlier, Corey. It's crucial for a WWE superstar to fully understand the gravity of the situation they're in when they battle inside a 15-foot-high steel cage. An individual must be ready to endure pure brutality and prepared for the fight of their life. No one leaves a steel cage match without scars.
But when you said something of value for once, and that anything is legal in
Shoulders on the mat. He got body on body there, but that's about it.
beautiful technique. Oh boy, he is rolling.
He's looking at it.
Oh, what incredible power.
Wow, what a vertical suplex.
That changes the entire complexion of this match. Oh boy, he is rolling.
He might have it.
Here's his chance.
He's not going to like this.
Falconero suplex is heating up now.
He kicks out before 3.
And the match continues.
This might be it. Oh my.
Technique. Oh, what impact.
He's looking a little weary here. He'll need to find a way to turn things around here.
He better be careful. If he's not, things can very easily go from bad to worse for him inside that cage.
Too quick for him there. Oh, and he connects. There's no reason he could do it here. And he doesn't stay down for long. Has to put in a little more work than that. Oh, and he dodges out of the way. Uh-oh, he's got him set up here. Look for the suplex.
The steel cage is a massive enclosure that stands 15 feet in height. For almost 35 years, a select group of high flyers have taken their aerial assaults to greater heights. And when I say that, I mean superstars climb to the top of the steel cage, the real high rent district, and dive off onto their opponent. And that all started with one man in October of 1983, Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
To your point earlier, Byron, we've definitely seen some unbelievable attacks be launched from the top of the steel cage. You mentioned the most iconic, the steel cage match for the Intercontinental Championship. It saw Jimmy Superfly Snuka clash against bitter rival, the magnificent Morocco.
There's no denying that Superfly set the bar. You look over the years to people like Jeff and Matt Hardy, Eddie Guerrero, Kurt Angle, and Chris Jericho. They continued to push the envelope and executed unbelievable attacks from the top of the cage. Watch Rikishi take flight off the top of the steel cage. Wow. According to historians, the twisted metal that we see as part of steel cages today dates back 80 years. To settle a dispute between competitors Jack Bloomfield and Count Pietro Rossi, the two met inside a ring surrounded by chicken wire. At first, these types of matches were referred to as fence matches.
Corey gave us an impressive history of the origins of the steel cage match. I'd like to point out to our viewers that from the 1960s to the mid-1980s, chain link fences were used to enclose the ring for WWE steel cage matches. superstar could win by pinfall submission or by exiting the cage through the cage door or climbing over the top of the cage.
We should also point out, Michael, that the way to win a steel cage match can vary by match depending on what was agreed to before.
This steel cage match is in the books. Let's take another look at these guys getting after it.
Yeah, he's putting in the work. He ain't messing around. Check this out. And I always enjoy watching him perform.
Here is your winner, Vergil.
What an amazing match and a huge victory. Nicely done.
Without a doubt, he is among the most dominant guys on the WWE roster right now.
Guys, it sounds like we can all agree that was an extremely impressive win.